all-time favorite things to teach dogs with canine fitness and just kind of everyday training is something called rear paw targeting. And over the years, as a certified canine strength and conditioning coach, there's a certain way I've seen people try to teach it to their dogs, and that method, in my opinion, doesn't really teach your dog anything. You're almost getting lucky that your dog is doing it instead of them actually knowing it. And the whole point of this exercise and this knowledge here is to teach your dog hind-end awareness, because fun fact, dogs have no idea what's connected back there. They just know that they go forward and they move around, but dogs really have no idea how to use their back feet independently of their front unless we teach them. So I want to show you how you can teach this to your dog in a super easy tutorial. You don't need anything fancy. I'm literally using a yoga mat. You can grab a rug. My only criteria is that, I have two, that is a different surface than what you're currently on. So my apartment here has carpet. Using a yoga mat, it's a very different traction surface. And then make sure it's big. I don't want a small little rug if you're using it. I want a larger rug, something that gives your dog, come here Annie, something that gives your dog room to, kind of a margin for error. Does that make sense? When we start small, our dog is kind of set up for failure because they have to hit that one small spot every time. When you use something large like this, they have plenty of room to figure it out. So here's what I often see people do. I want to start with this because if this is you, I'm not trying to call you out. I just want to show you how this actually is ineffective. So many times I see people having their dog back up onto a target to find it. Ready? Now Annie knows this, so she's immediately going to stop. She knows what we're doing. But the problem with that method is it actually doesn't teach her dog to do anything. If I were to stand in a different point of this room and give my cue, say I've started to mark it, there's a good chance your dog's not going to find it because they're so used to only backing up straight. Versus if I were to toss this over here and I say Annie feet, she's going to find it because she has taught and learned what that actually means. So I want to show you guys one of my favorite ways to do this because it's being taught now as a forward driving movement rather than a backup, because this then teaches your dog to find it from anywhere. So where we start is so simple. Again, you've got your yoga mat on the ground. Where I want you to be is see how where I'm standing right here or where I'm kneeling, Annie can have her front feet off the mat and her back feet on and still have maybe a couple inches or two to come forward towards me. If I were to be closer, see how she moves off my body pressure? A lot of dogs do. Some more than others. Now only her front feet are on the target. This is now training a front foot target. I don't want that. But when I back up, she has space to come forward. So what we do is we start by making sure we're in the correct position, and then we ask them something they know. I love doing a nose touch. Any touch? Yes. And we toss the treat directly back, or sometimes it bonks off their head. Come here, good girl, go get it. We toss it directly back, so they have to come forward every time. I'm gonna have her feet mark here for a second. What we're looking for is when they come back through, when that first hind foot touches that mat, you're going to mark and reward. Oftentimes, it is simultaneous with their front feet also being off the mat. Sometimes, depending on how fast they're moving, they may be kind of mid-spin or mid-movement. That happens, but that's kind of what we're aiming for is this end point. She's like, wait, there's a treat? Once they're starting to get that, or here, back up. Feet, sorry. Don't want to stay back up. Good girl. Once they've got that and you've been doing it repetitively, then what I like to do to really kind of see if they know it, you start adding your verbal cue, is I like to toss off to the side. And then I say, Annie feet, I give the cue. If they laterally step and find it, they've got it. If that is still not there, go back and toss the treat behind and keep building that foundation. Because that just means your dog isn't there yet. And that's okay. It took Annie and Diesel forever to learn this. And the reason why is because I initially tried to teach Annie with it as a backup. And that's why this kind of matters to me. Annie, fold down, is because I've seen how to do it correctly and I've seen what happens when you don't. They don't actually know it. But when I taught her this method, she got it like that. Diesel took a little longer, but I don't care. Now he can find anything and I'm beyond proud. And this is a really great way to build that initial hind-end awareness. And what's nice is since we are starting on a yoga mat, it's flat on the ground. We're not putting any pressure on any of the joints in a weight shifting way. Many times when we start using this further, their hind feet are on something. Maybe it's a stable platform, unstable, and that's shifting the weight forward onto the front. When we're teaching this on the flat, there's no issues there, which means you can teach this to any dog of any age. This is great to teach puppies and their foundations. This is great to teach an adult dog. It's great to teach a senior dog. You can learn this, or any dog can learn this, and it's a really great opportunity for them to start gaining some of that body awareness, which all dogs need. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. I've also linked in the description my Canine Fitness Foundations course. I have this in there along with so many other exercises, exercise tips, guidelines, a workout plan, so you can actually understand what your dog needs, how to do it correctly. You get feedback from me. You can upload videos of you and your dog doing the exercise. There's a lot to it. And then on my channel here, I've got lots of other helpful videos here for you can also to learn and really understand what Canine Fitness is all about. So I hope you guys love this tutorial. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I'm happy to chat about all things Canine Fitness.